Hello and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be the recap for my Shop My Stash from November. I'm going to be putting back all of the makeup that I used in the month of November, and I'm going to talk about them a little bit. So I'm just going to start with everything that lives up here. I don't think I've really ever explained to you how my storage, like what my storage solution is like, and I'm not really the biggest fan of it, but it's the best I can do living in Sweden, and I don't own much of this furniture, and so I just kind of have to use what I have. So anyways, obviously my palettes live back here in this IKEA tin thing or plastic box. This side over here is face palettes. This side is eyeshadow palettes. Then I have my makeup brushes. These are face brushes, eye brushes, and this is my mascara. And a couple eyebrow tools and things like that live in this one. And I don't switch out mascaras too often. I'm a use one or two kind of gal until they're gone. And so right now this is my current like main focus. And so anyways, let's put back the products that live up here. So for the month of November, I was very excited to use this Pirates of the Caribbean palette from Lorac because I had purchased it back in the US before we moved, but I had not used it. A lot of these colors seem more deep and more fall appropriate to me, and so I was kind of waiting to use them for that reason. And I very much enjoyed it. I do kind of think that this palette has its flaws. I think that it doesn't need to white shades. They're both like matte white or creamy shades. That's not necessary in my opinion, but I love the blue, this like orangey red, the green. Actually, my two favorite shadows in the entire palette are this Arg shade and Black Pearl. Arg is just a nice smoky metallic or like shimmery brown, and Black Pearl has like this bluish shift to it. Let me see if I can give you a swatch. And I think that when I want a smoky eyeshadow look, this palette is so nice to go to. It is, I don't know, it's so soft and easy to work with that it makes smoky eyeshadow looks like really easy to achieve. So I enjoyed it, and I used it a ton. I think I pulled the right amount of eyeshadow this month. I think the previous month in October I pulled too much and I got a little overwhelmed and didn't get to wear things as much as I wanted to, but this month I didn't have that problem. I got to wear everything plenty of times, and I did use this one the most, which was my goal, and then I used this one pretty much almost the same amount, and I very much enjoyed it. I used it in the month of September, and then I wanted to bring it back because it's so fall appropriate, and I did very much enjoy it. And I was actually really proud of myself because in the month of September I kind of used a lot more of these shades, and I avoided Red Ochre, Venetian Red, and Love Letter, and this month those three shades were like my top most used shades. And so I had so much fun with this. This is a gorgeous palette. I love it very much. And yeah, so it's going back. I used it plenty of times. And then my last eyeshadow palette was this My Little Pony palette, and I just wanted to play around with it a little bit. I wasn't really focusing on it hardcore. However, I did wear every shade in this palette except for this creamy shade here. It's like a satin, or like it might be a shimmer, but it doesn't get off a ton of sparkle if you ask me. So I used all of these shades, which was great. I think my favorites are these two here, even though they're kind of similar. One's a more pinky shifting color, and one's a more orange shimmer color. And yeah, let's see if I can give you, I enjoyed using them, and I think they were nice companion palettes for what I'd pulled, because the Lorac palette doesn't really have a ton of like colorful options, where this kind of did. For face palettes, I'm putting back, or wait, forgot, I have one more eyeshadow palette that I had pulled. This isn't a project pan, but for now, until I do my next Shop My Stash right after this, I'll just leave it here. And then face palettes, I used my Anastasia Glow Kit in the shade, or this is the Sugar Glow Kit, and I used these. Last time I think I focused more on the pink shades. This time I used all of them quite a bit, but I did focus more on the like yellowy gold shades, and I'm actually wearing Marshmallow here today. If you can see that. And I love this palette. It's so, I kind of bought it And I felt really guilty at the time when I bought it because I was like, I definitely don't need highlighters. But it is one of those palettes that I just enjoy way more than I ever anticipated that I would. So this was the blush palette that I used for the month of November. And it is, I mean, it's got so many options. This is the Tarte Blush Bazaar, and it's gorgeous. I used all of these shades. I actually used the highlighters quite a bit too, and I'm starting to see like some really good wear in these, which I'm very excited about. I would love one day if maybe all of these had the pattern worn off. You know, I don't expect to hit pan on them anytime soon, but if I ever kind of wore off the pattern in these, I would feel so accomplished. And then for a contour palette, I use my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I use this like every day, so I did makeup over 25 times this month, and you can barely see use in these pans. These things are so dang pigmented, but I very much enjoyed it. Very, very good palette. And I'm excited to put it back and pull something else in the next video. I'm going to move you down to my drawer where I keep the rest of my makeup, and we'll put back other things that I use and talk about them. For the month of November, I had 2 primers pulled to use, and actually I finally finished this guy here, this Fabulous Face Primer from Ulta. I'm so excited for that. I didn't quite finish this matte primer yet, but I will put it back for now, and we'll pull something a little bit later. These things just live over here. Like I said, I'm not really that satisfied with my storage solution yet, but I'll figure that out after I come back from Christmas break and I have all of my makeup with me at once. So all of those can just be in disarray together over there. And for foundations, I had 3 pulled for the month of November. I had my Dewy and Smooth, which I very much enjoyed. My skin is liking the more dewy foundations right now because, man, I'm struggling with adjusting to the climate over here. I also am using this BB cream in a project pan, so I will put it back for now, but I will pull it right back out for my Shop My Stash. And then I use this pure contour. It's got a contour side and a foundation side. I used it one time, which was not enough, but I find that this BB cream is not going as quickly as I need it to be, so I'll just have to pull that again after I get more use out of the BB cream. For brows, my brows live in this box here, and they live in here with some magnets. So for brows, I used my Benefit Ka-Brow and Make Me Brow in a lighter shade, so in case I went too dark with this, I could just go over the top with a lighter Essence Make Me Brow. I'm gonna put those back, and that is my favorite brow product, that Benefit Ka-Brow. I think it's so easy and it looks way better on me than pencils do. So in the future, I probably need to work on using my pencils so that I get them out and I just have the one that I really love, because there's no point in me having a ton of them when I really like the one. So for lips, I had 3 liquid lipsticks pulled. I had the Stila in Note, I think is how you pronounce it, and then 2 metallic lipsticks from Wet n Wild. I did wear my Stila one, but I very much enjoyed it. It's very vampy, and I like that look from time to time, but I didn't get to wear these other 2 metallic liquid lipsticks yet, mainly, again, because my lips are dying over here. So I ended up wearing things like this Covergirl balm more often. I wore this Ulta balm quite a bit. This is a very pinky, and you can see it's almost gone. And I actually got a little bit of a job kind of update. I don't have like a full-time job or even a part-time job yet, but I did find a substitute teaching job. And so for me, something like that Ulta balm is way easier to use. I did use my Bite Beauty multi-stick in the color Caramel. I love this. This is my favorite nude color. So I did get to use that, and I was very excited. And my warm color that I chose to use was Lolita from Kat Von D, and I wore this a good amount of times. I believe it was like more than 5 times, which for me is pretty good because I don't always wear lipstick. I tend to be a balm or gloss girl. And then I also pulled Fig by Bite Beauty, and I didn't get to use this yet, but I do plan to because I very much enjoy it. So, but we'll pull it back for now. and readjust to see the rest of the stuff being stored here. Highlighter, I've been using this e.l.f. shimmering highlighter, or shimmering facial whip. This is in a project pan, and for now I'm just going to lay it down here until I do my next Shop My Stash, but I'm enjoying it so far underneath makeup. Then my Coty Airspun powder is also in a project pan, and my powders go over here, so I'm just going to lay it on top for now. I used these two, oh goodness, Colourpop, sorry, my brain is just blanking on me. Colourpop Super Shock Shadows. This is in the shade Juicy, Apple, and Rainbow. And these are also in a project pan, but for now they can just hang out for right here. And I use these two Stila Glitter and Glow eyeshadows. One is in the shade Smoky Storm, and one is in the shade Retro Rose Gold Retro. And I very much enjoyed those. Then I have two eyeliners, or this is actually a High Benefit Highbrow. You're supposed to carve out your brows with it, but I don't do that. And so I've been using it as an inner, like your bottom lash line kind of highlight stick, and it's working really well for that. And then I have a black eyeliner that's also the one that I'm just wanting to use up. It's not my favorite. It's the L'Oreal So Kissing Me liner, and I'm putting those two back. I forgot to mention this butter bronzer here. Been using it, enjoying it very much. I think it's a really good bronzer for me in the winter because it's a little less intense than some of the other bronzers that I own, and so it lives over here. And then I also had my Stila highlighter in Kitten. Very much love this highlighter. It looks, sorry, trying to do this with one hand is not easy. It looks beautiful, and it's like wet looking on my skin, which I really need sometimes because my face can look a little more dry, even with like really nice powder highlighters. So, and then for concealers, I had my Tarte Shape Tape. This Neutrogena Hydro Boost Concealer is what I put on under Shape Tape because Shape Tape can be a little bit drying on me. And then this Wet n Wild also is pretty hydrating. It creases on me a little bit, but with the Shape Tape, it doesn't crease. So I very much enjoy using these two together, but they're going to go back for a little while for now. That's everything, and please keep an eye out for the next video, which will be my Shop My Stash for December, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Roll it up, yeah, I just touched down and now you know what's up, like on the move, yeah, I might get a place so I could come to you, like